All right, so
All
I'm
right.
here with Davidson Hang. He was the number one. So what? I don't even know the correct title. Tell me the correct title.
That was the number one social sell on the social selling index, which like LinkedIn does like the algorithm will look at there's like four different measurements. It's like leveraging insights, relationship building, thought leadership. So they basically using data. LinkedIn will rank every company that buys a LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is like how LinkedIn makes their money, right? Selling to salespeople.
Yep.
Everyone gets a score. So like at TriNet, I was number one. So that was out of 1,400 licenses. So they stack rank you amongst like all of your peers, right? So they see like how many people are engaging with your content, how often do you go viral, how many comments you're getting, and like how many impressions that you get, right? So for me, like when I log in, it'll say like 700,000 impressions, for instance, right? So LinkedIn will give a score. So when I was at LinkedIn, I had the highest. It's short for SSI, which is Social Selling Index.
You have the highest in LinkedIn. Wow. So
Yeah.
you were number one out of everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
I took screenshots multiple weeks in a row because I was like, this is crazy. And because
Yeah.
the number would go up a little bit because like when I first started LinkedIn it was like 8,000 employees and then 9,000 and then 11,000. And so I was just like, hey, this might be useful one day.
And today it is. So so tell me. Tell I know you don't have you can't give us everything you did because that would take too much time. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to get a creative course, everyone, so we can learn how to do this. But
Yeah.
tell me, like, give me the
Yeah.
30,000 foot view of
Yeah,
how we.
yeah. The first one is fame jacking, which you mentioned earlier. So like tagging people like Gary V. Like when I write articles about like Alex Hormozy, um, Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss, Jay Shetty, right? I'll tag them. So let's say it's like, hey guys, I spent 80 hours and like listening to Jay Shetty's podcast, and these are like the top 10 podcast episodes, right? So obviously there's a component of like adding value. So okay, well instead of someone else spending 80 hours, like I'm just giving you what I've taken away. So fame jacking is number one, right? Um, vulnerability, right? Vulnerability always sells, no matter Facebook, IG, right? So if you're like super vulnerable and you're like, hey, like in a hero's journey, right? It's like, hey guys, like this is what happened. Like I got rejected from LinkedIn 5 times. And like the first time, this is why I got rejected. Second time, this is why I bombed the interview. Third time, and then and then so some element of vulnerability is the other fast way of doing it, right? And then tagging a lot of people. So every time I host a networking event or maybe I just interviewed someone on a podcast, right? I'll tag everyone. So maybe I hosted a monthly networking event at the Empire State Building, and then like 16 of my friends came out. I'll tag all those 16 people. Usually they're influencers as well, right? And then so that gets a lot of comments as well. And then I would say like the last thing that has worked specifically for you, and you have to find out like what your secret sauce is like I'm like super I do like super gratitude lists. So like maybe the end of the month, I'll be like, hey, these are my business partners. I want to give gratitude. These are my clients. I want to share these. So it's like a overly sappy like gratitude thing, but it's like genuine, right? So you have to
uh,
figure out what your flavor of that is, right? And that usually does like really well because like people like it when you feel acknowledged and they're like, oh, he's promoting me and my podcast as well, right? And then your clients just like, and the last bonus tip is like ask for recommendations. Like I have 79 LinkedIn recommendations, and that helped a lot because like when people go on your profile, you're like, yo, how does this guy have like 79 recommendations? Like, let me get to meet this guy. So, and then, and this is like for me, for you and I, this is probably like makes a lot of sense, but not everyone gets this. Like you want to connect with every single person you've ever met. Like even you met them at a networking event for 5 minutes, like just or 5 seconds, like just connect with them. You just never know. It's like very simple, but you'd be surprised. Like not everyone does that.
wow, that's amazing. That I mean, just that right there is worth the $150 that somebody else is making from teaching this stuff, which is why you have to teach it. Because
Yeah.
that, yeah, I think that's because a lot of us don't understand how LinkedIn works. We know it's a lot different than Facebook and
Mm,
Instagram. That's one of my problems is I was
mm,
like, what do I put on here?
mm.
right?
Hmm.
But I mean, just that framework of what you said is like, bruh. So, and do you have any tips on how often we should post on LinkedIn?
Yeah, yeah. So this is a often debated question. I mean, this sounds corny, right? As long as it's valuable, like there's really no limit, right? Like Alex Hormozy is a great example. Like you can argue he posts too much, but everyone else who knows follows him is like, no, because everything he posts is fire and everything is valuable, right? So
No,
I don't think there's like the right way, but I think as long as it's adding value, it's not coming from ego, like you're gonna get a ton of because I've experimented. I'll be like, oh, maybe I'll post 5 times and or just like twice a day to see what works. But it's less about that and more of just like, okay, like this actually. Oh, and here's another tip. So there's two, now everything's like coming to me. There's the top voices, which is like a new thing where the AI every week will have like new like prompts. So if you just write like 10 like contributions to so let's say like your specialty is like public speaking or marketing or lead generation, whatever it is, right? If you write and then people start to like your stuff, you'll get like a LinkedIn top voice badge, which is new. This just launched like 3 months ago, but it looks cool because like LinkedIn will send you an email. It's like, congratulations, you're a LinkedIn top voice in, and then like whatever your specialty is. So for me, it said like in business networking or in sales management, I got two of those top voices. And like that's like a really cool way. And it's like super easy. Like that literally took me less than 30 minutes to get that top badge. Right. Like super simple, but it really makes a difference and helps you stand out as well.
and break down how to do that again. Like you,
So every week LinkedIn will have AI that will have like a prompt. So let's say like you write a lot about entrepreneurship, right? LinkedIn will send you like a hey, you've been invited to like be to contribute to this thing. But even if you're not invited, right? Let's say this is new for you. When you go to the search bar, there's and then you press search, they'll have like questions and everyone has different categories, so it really depends on like what you write about. And
okay,
then you just have to contribute to the like the AI generated question. So some people it's like networking if that's like your specialty. Some people it's like lead generation. So it depends. And you just have to contribute like I would say 7 to 10 different articles, but it's like super short articles. Like it's like less than 500 words. So it's really
okay,
fast.
yeah,
Yeah, and then you'll get a LinkedIn Top Voice badge, which they'll send you an email, and then you'll get a notification saying, "Hey, congratulations, you're a LinkedIn Top Voice," and it just looks like really professional. And you get a badge, so your profile will stand out amongst everyone else because like you'll get that. But then every couple weeks you have to like redo. You have to be consistent, or else like your badge goes away eventually. But you can just
okay.
like you can just screenshot it and then like use it for marketing purposes whenever.
Wow, bro, this is the coolest like 10-minute mini course I've ever been a part of. Yes, this
Appreciate
is
that.
so. I want to be the first one to buy your LinkedIn course.
All right. Yeah, man. I'll definitely reach out. You've inspired me. Like I've been dragging my feet on it, but you're right. Let's do it.
Do it, man. Hey, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you letting me record this and add
Yeah,
value
likewise.
to the people that I know through this. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, AJ. Appreciate you.
Her.